Guys, I want to say thank you very much. We hit over 1 million views on Live and Alive. Thank you for supporting it. Thank you for watching it. If you haven't yet, go watch it. Share it with your friends. Comment, like, all that stuff. Live and Alive, streaming now on my YouTube. Thank you guys so much for your support.
The HoneyDew with Ryan Sickler.
Welcome back to the HoneyDew, y'all. We're over here doing it in the Night Pants Studios. I am Ryan Sickler, ryansickler.com, Ryan Sickler on all your social media. And listen, guys, thank you. Thank you for supporting this show. If you watched this far and you haven't subscribed, hit subscribe, help the channel out. And if you got to have more, then you got to have the Patreon. It's called the HoneyDew with y'all. We've been doing it now for years. There are hundreds of episodes. It's still $5 a month. All right. And it is this show with y'all. All right. It's the wildest show on Patreon. And if you or someone you know has a story that has to be heard, please submit it to us at honeydewpodcast@gmail.com. Hopefully we get to do an episode together. If you send it before, bump it again to the top. We get a lot. We go through them. We want to do your story. All right. That's the biz. You guys know what we do here. We highlight the lowlights, and I always say that these are the stories behind the storytellers. I am very excited to have this guest on with us here. First time on the HoneyDew. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Lawrence. Welcome to the HoneyDew, Mike Lawrence.
Thanks, man. How are you?
I'm great. It's good to see you. It's
good
been
to see
too
you
long.
too. Yeah.
Before we get into what we're going to talk about today, please promote everything you'd like.
Yeah, I mean, just I have a podcast called Nerd of Mouth that I co-host with two other guys, and we go deep into nerd culture. We did an episode about how the Looney Tunes basically got killed. I think that Acme, Wile E. Coyote movie is now gonna finally get released, but Warner Brothers, which owns HBO, Warner Brothers is Looney Tunes to a generation of us. They got rid of all the cartoons. So we talked about that.
I know. I try to look them all up. I have to watch a lot of stuff on YouTube with my daughter.
Yeah. We did an episode about the trial of Stan Lee. That people hate him and why, and does he deserve it? And we did an episode that is near and dear to my heart, and I think it's something we'll talk about. But I was diagnosed with autism, and I go into all of the specifics of being autistic, the symptoms, my diagnosis, all that stuff. Which I'm happy to do some of that today. But that was
so we're using nerd as a verb, and we're just going die hard on these subjects, basically.
Well, nerd is
not just Dungeons and Dragons or typical things you think of, nerds, so to speak.
But basically, just about everyone
sports nerd. Everyone's a nerd of something.
But just about everyone we called a nerd growing up was an undiagnosed autistic person for the most part.
I get
like you watch Family Matters now, and it's like it's just a cop being mean to a nerd who doesn't know how to communicate to his daughter.
My math teacher that wore the pocket fucking protector and all that.
Because he was afraid. He couldn't protect himself from his own feelings. Yeah.
I wish I could go back and say that to him leaving a class one day.
Yeah, well, he's probably dead now.
Oh, no, he's alive. He's alive.
Nice. I was going to say nicely folded news.
He's alive. Let me ask you this before we get into your story about your podcast. Great title.
Thanks, man.
What's something that you guys nerded out on that you had no idea and you're like, yeah, and now you're, really interested or maybe just surprised to find out about?
We did an episode about how to get into anime because I've never watched anime. I didn't get it. The other two guys are massive experts on anime. And I was like, I just don't understand it. And it has taken over a lot of, popular culture. And I have, a very young kid who's probably going to get into anime. And I want to be able to, love the stuff that he does. And so it was cool. Like they recommended me stuff. And then our audience recommended me stuff. And some people told me that I was racist towards Japanese people. And just because I am doesn't mean
ignorance and racism are two different things. Everybody.
It was funny at the beginning of the episode. Like one of the guys was like, "Well, how come we never got in the anime?" And I was like, "My my grandpa fought in World War II, and he came back with shrapnel in his kidney, and that's why." It's not like I was gonna be able to put it on in front of him,
right? Yeah. What are you growing up with? Looney Tunes and things like that?
I don't know about Looney
Woody
Tunes.
Woodpecker.
I'm 1983,
Okay.
so He-Man is slowly fading. I have
Voltron in there.
No, Voltron not for me. That is anime. He-Man is fading. My brother's 3 years older than me. Ninja Turtles was like the first thing that felt like it was mine because the cartoon and everything came out in '87. I'm 4 years old. And, Ninja Turtles is brilliant because they got all these kids to buy the same action figure 4 times.
You're not wrong about
the
that.
The bandanas are just different. Yeah. That's it. It's the laziest, but it worked. It worked on me.
It worked on a lot of people, man.
And it's funny, in the original comic book that came out in '84, they all have red bandanas. And it was also because it was only the covers they would have colors. Everything, the comics themselves were black and white. But when they did the cartoon, they're like, we need purple, we need orange. Mm-hmm. And they gave the turtles like their own personalities and stuff, which they did not have as much in the comic books.
So let's just dive into your background and your upbringing. Do it, man. Where are you from originally?
I am from South Florida. I was born in Miami, mostly raised in the Fort Lauderdale area. My parents divorced when I was very young, and
but I'm sorry, I'm gonna pause you there because you said you have an older brother.
Yeah,
from same parents.
Same parents.
Okay, so you're the young. Is there any other siblings?
I have a younger sister that is from my mom and my stepdad.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And
so when you say very young, how old are you when your parents actually do split?
Like 3.5. Like I don't have any memories of them together. Okay. When I was born, my dad was such an alcoholic that he was on a different floor of the hospital because he got pneumonia.
No.
Yeah.
He's not there to support. He's there.
I'm such a comic book nerd that even my birth is an origin story.
Yeah. He's upstairs. Yeah. Oh, is he getting something from my mom while she's having the baby? No,
did it pop out of her pussy yet?
He's getting treatment.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, so, they're like, would you like to see your...
Is he calling down on the phone? Is he there yet? Yeah.
Would you like to see your son? Does he have a beer?
Oh, man.
Yeah, so, and then I found this out the last time I saw my dad. My dad passed away in February 2023. My dad passed away 3 months after my son was born, and it's like, just tell me you don't want to be a grandfather.
Look, I'm out of here, man.
Don't be such a diva about it. Jesus.
So dramatic. Yeah.
But it was crazy because
did you have a close or good relationship?
We did growing up.
Tell me about growing up. Are they 50-50? Are you going over to moms and dads? Is dad in the picture? Who we living with?
I was gonna get there. So my dad was an abusive alcoholic to my mom, and then he told me this before. Yeah, this is the perfect thing. If you're a dad, you got to tell your son one more thing before you die. Make sure it's something like this. My dad's holding my son, who is 2 weeks old at the time, and I don't know if you felt this when you had a kid, but the things that people will say when they're holding a baby because of the dopamine, they're just so honest about everything. And my dad goes, your mom was supposed to have. No, he was proud of that. No, he goes, your mom was supposed to have full custody of you, but she didn't. Because he goes, because she was doing a show at Coconuts Comedy Club. My mom was a comedian in the 80s.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, damn right it is.
Hell yeah, Mom.
Coconuts. It's like so perfect 80s. And he's like, Coconuts Comedy Club.
This is what he's saying to you holding his grandson.
Yeah. He never told me that before.
Is your mom still alive?
Yeah.
Did you go ask her about that then?
No, and she'll probably find out about it here. So and not be happy. I've never talked to her about it. I find it hilarious, and she's in my life. So yeah, it was 50-50 until high school. And then I was like, I want to be with my dad. I mean, the thing was, my mom remarried if anything, my mom probably cheated on him, and rightfully so. He was a jerk to her.
Yeah, sure.
So, I have a very vivid memory of my mom marrying my stepdad and then walking across the street to a Denny's parking lot where our dad picked me and my brother up.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
You just went from that to that, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, moon's over my daddy. But
they're going on their honeymoon.
Yeah, honeymoon's over my
over my hammy, bro.
Yeah,
Honeymoon's over my hammy, bro.
Yeah, this is literally what every writer's room is. Just people doing puns and talking about their parents divorcing.
God.
Yeah, so
now does your brother go as well with dad?
Yeah, my brother goes as well, and my dad. I've never really drank. I've had like 2 beers in my life.
Mm-hmm.
When I was 5, I would go to AA meetings with him because he had to go every week. Mm-hmm. And sometimes he's got custody of us. And if you don't want someone to drink, take them to AA meetings when they're 5.
A kid?
I'm holding the hands. I accept the things I cannot change.
Are you the only kid in there?
No, my brother's there too.
Just the 2 of you. That's it. I was going to say, I've never heard of children.
But, and just, it was amazing because, these people are so sad. They're like, it's like, they felt like they were being punished for having too much fun. Mm-hmm. Like I remember one time someone was like, we brought cake tonight and it was carrot cake. It's like, oh, punishment cake. Yeah. And Kool-Aid. And these are often at churches or, basements and stuff. And I remember my dad one time taking me over to his sponsor's house. And he had a Kiss pinball machine. He's like, that was the last fun night I got to have. And I took it home with me. Yeah. So it was always, I just grew up listening to adults tell me how great their lives used to be. Which my dad would often do too. My dad was
that's really an interesting sort of scared straight program.
Oh, it works.
I can't. Yeah. The shit that I've heard people come in who was like, hey, I'm an adult. I had to go to AA. Yeah. Those stories I heard there are crazy. Yeah. The stuff that it must be mind-blowing at 5 to hear this. Oh, Do you remember any of the craziness? Do you remember one that really stood out, though?
We would sit in the back, and then when it came to the amends and, saying the thing at the end of the night, we would be a part of it. And hold hands and stuff. And then
would your dad ever get up and speak?
Yeah, once or twice. He quit it pretty early. He didn't like the God stuff. And but I remember we would go and then he'd be like, I'm sorry about that, guys. And then we'd go to Krispy Kreme. So he'd be like, here's my old addiction. I'm gonna take you to my new one. Yeah. Because he just got fatter and fatter. And I'm addicted. That's my addiction. I have a sweet tooth. I eat too much candy and donuts and stuff. So it was amazing that he passed that on to me, but like
mom gave you comedy, dad gave you the sweet tooth. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. It's like, if I'm going to be a comic like my mom, I can't be an alcoholic like my dad. And I have no identity of my own.
I want to come back to this in a second. Did your mom ever have any TV credits or anything from the 80s?
Not really. She had a show on NPR for a few months, a local NPR affiliate. And me and my brother would just call in to say hi every once in a while. She's like, Mom's working. And then
where are the Doritos, Mom?
We just loved hearing our voices on the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go here. What jobs are you getting in high school? Are you working? Are you like getting out of the house and stuff? Or what are you doing?
Yeah. So I'm 16 and my dad's like, you gotta work. And I think, rich kids should work. I think every child should work. It is important the younger you are to know that you don't matter and nothing is beneath you. Get that pride.
When my stepson first got his job, he was like 17. He's working at Little Caesars. And he came home one day. He's like, Ryan, this guy came in today screaming. And I was like, yeah. over a $5 pizza. I go, welcome to the real world, buddy. Welcome to the real world, bro.
The one political thing I'll say on this show, that's what's happening now, is the country is now being run by people who didn't work in high school. And it shows.
That's a good point, dude.
So why are the food stamps disappearing? Because they don't know what they are. It's like, well, I worked at a McDonald's and
in high school.
Yeah, and when I was in 7th grade, my dad moved from the more proper like Fort Lauderdale, and we moved to a place called Davie, Florida, and we were in a trailer park called Paradise Village. And I still don't drive. I didn't drive then, and I don't drive now. And there was a McDonald's 10-minute walk, and I worked there. I worked there from 16 until I graduated high school. I went to college for 1 year in Virginia. Just got massive debt and depression, and moved back. And I stayed working there until almost I was 24 years old. So
at the McDonald's?
Yeah. I worked there for a long time.
Were you manager? What were
Never.
you doing?
Oh, no, because then that meant you were going to stay. The important thing was to tell yourself you could leave at any time.
I got you. Yeah.
Do you
remember what you ended making an hour when you finally
I'll
wrapped?
tell you.
Yeah, you remember.
So, so May 16th, 1999, I start, and $5.25, which was 10 cents above the minimum wage.
What year again? What time?
This is 1999.
1999, and it's $5.25.
We got the Tarzan Happy Meals coming out.
I was going to ask.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That's how we lived through high school. They had the $2.99 meal and the $3.99 meal. Like we could afford that in high school.
Dude, well, this was a trailer park, so this was all some of these people ate. Because a hamburger can go easy in a blender if you've lost most of your teeth.
I never thought.
Oh yeah, everything's a shake for meth head, and but at the end, December 28th, 2006. I don't remember the Happy Meal toy. I'm sorry. I was leaving. Of course, why would I remember? I was happy I was leaving, and I moved to New York the next week. With comedy and stuff. But $6.45.
What year? 8 years later?
Yeah.
From $5.25?
Yeah, to $6.45.
$1.20?
No promotions. Nothing.
That's fucking terrible.
And 3 of those were like government mandated.
Yeah, they finally came in and said you have to pay these people.
I just saw this new thing about this article about they're raising it. It's $20 now, $20 an hour.
Is that right?
In California, yeah. And I was reading this is the funniest thing. I was reading this article, and a guy who's like a franchisee, he owns like 7 or 8 McDonald's. He's like, we used to be able to do fun things like pizza parties for everybody, but now we can't because we have to give them $20 an hour. It's like, so now they get to have them with their families? Like, you're the only person upset about this. Yeah, no one's complaining about getting $20 an hour.
So that was your money. That was your bread and butter until you bounced.
Yeah, it was. I paid for college. I bought books with that money. And then I started getting credit cards and I didn't know how they worked, which is the whole point. That's why they're always at college campuses.
That's 100% right.
And I racked up like $15,000 in debt in comic books and action figures, all the stuff that I always wanted to buy. Let's
talk about that. So you discover credit cards when in New York or in McDonald's days?
In Florida, in McDonald's days.
Okay.
And with credit cards, this is the early 2000s. I discovered eBay. And you could type in anything you want. I tell my therapists this sometimes because, they'll say, like, you're supposed to move forward. Don't be stuck in the past. But we are the first generation that can buy our past.
Here's the other interesting thing I've learned through therapy, too, is men, we will buy our past.
Yes.
Women won't. They're not buying strawberry shortcakes.
Well, they have things to look forward to.
That's what I'm saying. It's different. We go back to our time when we were the happiest and hopefully the safest.
Yeah.
Maybe. And you
They've
buy
got a
that
president
again.
that looks like them coming up. We've had 40, and it doesn't make us any happier. So I look like Rutherford B. Hayes,
So you're buying your childhood.
Yeah, we love living in our past. It's amazing.
I used to love Mighty Mouse cartoons.
Spiderman.
You saw all the action figures out there and stuff.
Oh, and I know each one of them. Yeah.
So let's get into that. So you find credit cards, and now you're like, oh my God, here's eBay also. I can get unlimited shit.
Yeah.
And you dive into what? Action figures and what else?
I mean, I've always collected action figures, but then I moved to New York, and by the time I'm at, moving to New York, I've got $2,000 in my pocket, and and nothing but a dream. And I'd been doing comedy a year and 2 months in Florida, and I knew I had to leave because I was doing too well.
Okay.
It's like I knew the joke sucked and I should be bombing harder. And then I moved to New York and I was. I'm like, this feels right. And I didn't get an action figure or anything for years.
I'm going to pause you there for a second. Jump back to the beginning. What's your first ever action figure? What's the heroine that got you started? Or early one if you can't remember.
It was He-Man. I'll tell you an important one was, my grandma was rather racist as grandmas are wont to be, but she knew I wanted Clamp Champ, and he was the black He-Man figure.
I don't know him. I don't know.
Yeah,
Clamp.
he has like just a big clamp that he uses to like grab stuff, and she had to push down her prejudices for her grandson,
and she did. That's great, Grandma.
It's funny because there's one time at McDonald's, a white woman wouldn't leave the drive-thru because we gave her a black Barbie.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
She's like, take this shit back and give me a white one.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
That's fucking bold.
Yeah.
You ain't doing that. Well, you would do that today. People still don't give a shit.
She would do that today and get 500,000 on GoFundMe.
You're right.
Mattel would reach out to her and be like, we're sorry
about make you a doll.
We're sorry about these DEI policies. They're like, we're even going to have a white person make the doll for you, and then it falls apart because it's poorly manufactured.
So then what do you dive into hard then? Once you get in, what are you going after?
I mean, Ninja
everything
Turtles,
or okay.
No, it was always you had to have a line,
Star Wars.
I'm a big comic book guy.
Okay.
I'm not a Star Wars guy.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel was like my big thing, and there was a Marvel superheroes group of toys that came out in 1990. So I'm with it at a company called Toy Biz. They start making Xman action figures, and they start making all of the Silver Surfer has his own line of toys, and I'm getting all of these. And as you get older, the toys get better. I'm not one of those people now who I don't buy retro stuff. I like the new stuff.
The McFarlane, you fuck around with the McFarlane figures.
I have a ton of McFarlane figures.
He's phenomenal.
And I remember this shirt I'm wearing is McFarlane art.
Is that right?
If you can't see, just Google.
Look at me knowing some shit.
Oh, yeah. Amazing Spider-Man 318. McFarlane.
Well, you want to know why I know McFarlane? You can probably guess. The sports figures. Yeah. He does phenomenal sports
figures. That was the thing with, he was a comic artist, and then
Spawn was that
Spawn,
right?
He still does it sometimes, but he created this toy empire, and now he has $500 million.
Whoa, the toy empire is bigger than Spawn and all his.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
He's got the DC license. He makes Batman and Superman toys.
Okay.
He makes
MLB and NFL.
I mean, those are huge licenses.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and they look better
him.
than all the other stuff on the shelf.
They're incredible. Yeah.
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 And they, like the football ones move about as well as the football players in real life.
Yeah, they do.
And the only difference is the toys always know where they are and don't murder their wives. Yeah.
So when you say, because you sent us a list, crippling action figure addiction, how much money are we talking at your most are you dropping on these things?
Oh, thousands. I mean, it's
in like one shopping spree, you'll drop 1,000?
No, just after years. Like I'll get one now, and sometimes I won't feel anything. And it's very depressing. And now I've transferred to my son, and he likes Paw Patrol. So we got all the Paw Patrol toys, and watching him, share an addiction. Don't keep it to yourself.
Yeah, why keep it to yourself, man?
I wish my dad did drink with me. He did give me the donuts, so that was nice. But
do you still have all your toys, and are you passing them down?
I have all my current ones,
or are these collectibles that you're not going to open, or are you going to let your son live?
Everything's out of the box. It's the dopamine rush of opening it out of the box.
Good.
There have been times because you can order a lot of stuff online, and they'll send it to you loose for cheaper, or the shipping is cheaper. I'm like, I'll spend the $3 for that box smell.
Okay, that's what you're into. It's not about the keeping and saving, the collectible money and eBay flipping.
Why would I leave my son a feasible inheritance?
So does he like? Does he not like any of the stuff you like?
I mean, well,
where you're like, oh, it hurts my soul.
He's 2.5, so like he loves Spiderman.
Mm-hmm.
He loves he hasn't really gotten into Batman yet, like, but the stuff he's into, he's really into, and so am I. I'm really into my stuff, but he also has his own things, and if he's not, like, I think that he's gonna be amazing at athletics, and I'm gonna have to learn to like that stuff.
Okay, are you going to?
Oh, of course, because
now,
that's what a good father does.
Football player, likes to play football or baseball. Maybe football's not safe these days. Whatever.
Yeah, we're not going to do.
Let's
football.
just say
that's
baseball.
The one. Yeah.
You're going to dive into the stats and all that for. You're going to go hard on that stuff, huh? Good for you, Dad.
Yeah,
oh yeah.
That's someone got me. Cameo. Someone got me. A buddy of mine got me a Jesse Ventura cameo, and he gave the best advice. He's like, you better like what they like and love what they love. It's not about you. It's about them.
Amen.
And it's like, good on you, Jesse.
I chose Function because it's the only health platform that gives me data most people never get, and you're getting the insights to start doing something about it. Inside Function, you get access to test over 100 biomarkers, from hormones to toxins to markers of heart health, inflammation, and stress. For an additional fee, you can also access MRI and chest CT scans. It's a near 360 view to better see what's happening in your body. Lab visits are fast and convenient at over 2,000 locations across the U.S., and all results are tracked over time in one secure place so you can see how your health evolves. Insights come from top doctors based on your unique results, and Function doesn't push supplements or pharmaceuticals. It's just powerful, unbiased data designed to help you own your health. I just recently did a whole blood panel for all this stuff, heart scans, full blood panel, everything. It's easier than you think it is. I promise you that. And it's informative. Learn your genetics. Learn more and join using my link. Function is the new essential health check, and it also makes an incredible gift this December. What's more meaningful than gifting health to someone you love? So if you want to learn more, head over to functionhealth.com/honeydew, where you can sign up now for only $365 a year. That's $1 a day for your health. Visit functionhealth.com/honeydew at sign up to own your health or help someone else own theirs. Now, let's get back to the dip. Yeah, I was just telling the story to my cousin today because my daughter, she said, is your daughter still really into cheer? And I said, yeah, she is. And she was playing soccer, and I grew up playing soccer. I was soccer, everything. I'm good at soccer, love soccer. She's playing soccer. And then I'm driving her home from school one day, and she's like, did mom tell you that we're not doing soccer this year? And I said, no, why aren't we doing soccer? She's like, well, mom wants to put me in cheer and gymnastics. She thinks that'll be better for me. And I go, okay. And she goes, what? I go, okay. And she goes, you're okay with that? I go, yeah. And she goes, mom thought we were going to have a family meeting. I said, we've never had a family meeting. We're definitely not having one over fucking soccer. You know what I mean? Like, what kind of person? And I said, Stella, this is when I said to her, like, look, I don't care what you do.
Yeah.
All I do care about is that you take it seriously.
Yeah.
And you're your best, not the best, your best.
Yeah.
You're a good teammate. You're a good loser. I want you to learn how to lose and win with, humility and be a good person and a good teammate. I don't care where that comes from, but you are going to do something, and I support it 100%.
Did she want to switch to cheer herself?
Yeah,
okay,
she did.
yeah. Then that's
and then
what
I
matters.
watched her slowly start to learn how to flip.
Yeah.
And cartwheel, and you see the confidence builder. And I'm like, this is no different than if I had a son who would want to skate and do the trick over again and again and again. How any different than us in comedy telling the same joke over until we get that word right, and the difference between an and a the and things like that, you know. So good for you.
Yeah. I think that's what
But
matters.
you never grew up sports or anything. You were more comics and
No, I mean, my brother and my dad loved sports. My dad was a big Raiders fan. Mainly when he was from like the Bay Area. So, he loved them when they were in Oakland and then tolerated them when they were in LA. But that was something him and my brother bonded on. I mean, if someone told me, hey man, your dad's going to die before 70, I would have watched more football with him.
Is that right? You would have, huh?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, but it was also, I was finding who I was. I was playing with my action figures in the corner and making up stories, and I was reading comic books in the other room. So, and my dad, he would take me to comic shops. Like he would embrace the stuff that I loved. And I mean, the truth is, I really do love my mom, but I have a special affinity for my dad. I mean, he was a single dad, and he spent the time with us. And when he passed, it's like the thing I thought about with parenting. My son was only 3 months old when he went, and the big thing I thought of was like, all that matters is time, like that they're there. That they know that you were there for them and that you were able to push aside all this stuff.
That's
and so
it.
for me,
you said, listen, man, half of parenting is being there and genuinely being invested in what they're interested in.
Yeah.
That's it. These backpack trips to Europe, I would hear about all this. I'm like, you're probably the most miserable fucking family out
I didn't get a
there.
passport till I was 28. Yeah. But if we went to Chuck E. Cheese and went together, that's all that matters.
That's it. Memories.
And I think it's this thing too of it's important to show, like, to me, I think about it every day. Like, my main job is to keep my son safe. And one of those things is to keep him from being cynical for as long as possible. Because that's its own state. Once you're cynical, you are damaged and you're broken and you are no longer, they can't sell you as a new car. Once you're cynical, you're used. Yeah. And every day that he wakes up happy, he'll wake me up at 6 a.m. He'll put my glasses on me and be like, come on, daddy, and he's happy. And it's like, it makes you happy. And that's a beautiful feeling. Like that, there are people who don't want kids, and I get that, and I respect that. But not until I had a kid was I ever happy before 10 a.m. And that's the thing is, like,
I never got up early or anything.
No.
I'm a comedian. I'm out late, and I'm getting up early now. And another thing I pay attention to, Mike, is like the ability of a child to get angry at something and how quickly they just forget it and don't hold a grudge and don't bring it up later and shit. And I'm like, when as adults do we lose that? Like, what happens to that little poor us?
That's when we have nothing else.
That when you finally, you get so mad you can't let it go, and you don't go away for 5 minutes and come back. Like, can we play Uno? And I look at that and I go, fuck, I wish I still had that.
Well, it's like gambling. Like, you're so in the hole, right? And so hatred is like that. You're so, you despise someone so much that you now are invested in their failure.
Yeah.
And you're hoping it happens, and all that's happening is you're failing.
That's what they say. It's like drinking poison.
Yeah.
That person's not affected in one bit. You're just guzzling poison.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about being diagnosed with autism, and like, why did you look into that? You said at 38?
Yeah.
This is just a few years ago.
Yeah, because everyone knew but me. That's why. Because I would always say,
but tell me you went and really did this, and you didn't get some TikTok bullshit. All these people, I can't tell you how many people I see going, "Oh my God, turns out I'm autistic," because I saw something on TikTok.
That's its own, sorry, RFK, that's the real epidemic.
Yeah, you're muddying the waters, everybody, with your, I took a quiz online. So did I. I have AIDS, cancer, I have diabetes. Yeah.
Here's the thing. Listen to this episode of the HoneyDew, and if you've related to me more than 2 times, you got it.
I might have it then. God damn it.
But for me, it was, we got into the adoption process in 2020. That was one of the good things about the pandemic, besides the thinning of the herd, all those weak people with frail lungs. In 20 and a cough, That was like my dad survived the entire pandemic and then died in 2023. It's like, I'm gonna let you have suspense. Oh, I'm gone. No, so for me it was like I always felt it, and I was watching that show Love on the Spectrum, and really connecting to some of the people on there, and it was, I always figured, but for me, it was like, I never cared in the point, in the sense of like, I figured enough things out in life. I don't know everything, but I'm doing all right. I've overachieved for a brain damaged lummox. And, but it was when we were talking about having kids, and I was like, I need to be the best version of myself for him. I don't know how to socialize well. I don't know how to make eye contact well. And I want to be able to do that for his teachers.
Good for you. Yeah. The parent fucking teach.
Yeah.
Listen,
I struggle with it.
I hate it.
Yeah.
And also, you've got a little bit of notoriety, and now people may know you, and they're going to want to come over and talk to you. It's like, oh my God, it's Mike Lawrence over there. And you're like, fuck.
Oh, it's all
small talk's the worst.
Oh, it's the worst.
But you got to get good at it, because you're like, I never thought of that too. Like, oh man, I got to go meet this dad now. And I'm like, oh shit.
You're going to have to talk to an admissions officer.
Yeah.
And they're going to judge you.
Check in at the front desk with your ID. Yeah.
And the other thing with the adoption process, there were interviews, there's home studies and all of that. And you have to be a person and everything. And so it was when we were in the middle of that, I tell people I took an autism test and I passed. But I did like the thorough, diagnosis. It was during the pandemic.
Did you go to a doctor or?
Yeah, psychological group. And this is one of my favorite stories is that, so I have, it was over Zoom because this was like 2021. And I have a big Spiderman poster behind me of an issue 137. And this woman, she's like, you know what my last name is? I'm like, yeah, Dr. Conway. She's like, do you know who my ex-husband is? And I was like, is it Gary Conway, who was a renowned Spider-Man writer, if there was such a thing?
I thought you were going to say Tim Conway.
Yeah.
I'm like, Dorf on golf?
Yeah.
Carol Burnett.
Dorf on divorce. we did Dorf for me. Yeah, she left him for Harvey Korman. No.
So this guy's a prominent Spider-Man
Every
writer?
time I was wiggling my ears, it's because he was smacking me there. Yeah, the over 50 crowd loved that one. So he was a prominent Spider-Man, and he had written the issue that poster was of. And I'm like, Gary Conway? Your ex-husband was Gary Conway?
Like, okay, it's official now.
Yeah, so exactly. So I get the diagnosis back. It's like,
Let me ask you real quick before you say this, because I'm an ignorant man about a lot of things.
That's okay.
When it comes to an autism, what do they, because I hear a lot of people say eye contact, but just not having eye contact doesn't mean you have autism. So what are they really testing for? What is the actual test?
I think they're testing for, how you think.
Is it brain waves things. Or is it just a written test or?
It's a lot of things, right? So I'll talk you through it if you want. So
I want to know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that 2 hours, I won't do the same jokes I did on my other. No. But So the 2 hours with her, she's asking me all these questions, about my past and things like that. And then I get, when I get the diagnosis, like one of the things was subject found out who my ex was, would not stop focusing on.
No.
Yeah.
That's in the write-up.
Here's the thing. She knew I was.
She baited you, dude. She didn't have to fucking say who her ex was.
Nah, I know. This lady knew I was fidgeting with my action figures, and I never had them on the camera. She could just tell by the way my elbows were moving. And my shoulders were shrugging. It's like...
Looked like he had a McFarlane figure in his lap, damn it.
No, these had more articulation, but these posed.
Is that right? It said that?
It said, fidgeting, When I think I held one up once or something, like I would say by accident. I just couldn't let it go, and I had to like scratch my head or something. And I think she saw it. But then, so that's the first part. Is you talk to a psychologist. Normally that would happen in person, right? Then they tell you this was the roughest part. You got to talk to your parents. You got to talk to or anyone who raised you or anyone who was in the early development stages of your life.
And ask them what?
And ask them if they noticed anything. What were you like growing up? You know, you're supposed to write it down. And then you get like a survey, and the survey has a ton of questions. And some of these questions are the ones that you'll often see on these autism tests and everything. Like, you know, do you pretend a lot? Are you in your own world? You know, how often do you feel lonely and isolated? You know, do you hate small talk? Things like that. And but yeah, I had to talk to my parents, and that was a lot, man. Because it's weird, you know. I mean, that word was so loaded back then. And I think that, you know, we are trying to make up for the mistakes of our past. You know, our parents had parents who dealt with a lot of trauma that they didn't deal with, and they put it on our folks, and our folks put it on us, and we're trying to stop all of it if we can. We won't, but
we'll say
try.
This a lot on this show. You know, I'm 52. I've got 10 years on you. My grandfather fought in World War II.
Yeah.
My dad's Vietnam. And I'm like, I want to be a clown. And these are men that are like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, we're not also the first generation who buys our past. I also feel like we're the first real I love you to our kids generation. Like I got that from my dad for sure. But back then in the 70s and 80s, it was more of a walk it off mentality. Men don't cry, tough guy
and you don't
bullshit.
Divorce, and
you stay because you committed. All that shit. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, they were all unhappy on the inside.
That's why we're fucking way we are. Yeah.
Yeah. We probably, the pendulum swung the other way too far, maybe, but it swung into a toy store, so that's okay. And so I'm talking to my mom, and my mom, it's like, she felt like, I think, you know, she's gotten better about it, but like that I was accusing her of something.
Oh, she's not even thinking I'm just trying to get some research here. She just
well, she was like, I mean, you turned out fine. You know, it was like, yeah, it's okay. It's okay, you know. And I remember talking to my dad, and my dad was like, yeah, I was probably, you know, I was weird too. We just didn't say it back then because they throw rocks at you.
That's the other thing, the weird kid. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And now I look back, you know, I think that he definitely was, because, you know, growing up, he didn't have any friends. No one ever came over the place. And he, you know, was very nervous and neurotic in a way that I have some of those tendencies. And then, so you do the survey, you talk to your parents, and then the last thing is I did go in person.
Sorry, can I ask you, is also talking to your parents not just for information? Is it hereditary? Is it a genetic thing?
I don't think you're not doing it for that. You're doing it to
get their observations,
to know how early things were being shown, and
I
you know.
Okay.
So then you go take a test in person, and it's amazing because it's a waiting room of just kids and me.
Is that right?
Yeah, because it's mostly that's when it's detected.
Yeah, and their parents are on top of shit these days.
It was funny. I remember asking my mom, I was like, I want you to watch Love on the Spectrum so you could see, like, understand, like, what autistic people are like and everything. And she watches and she goes, I gotta say, those parents are so amazing. Like the bravery of those moms and dads to deal with those. But yeah, she was like, those parents are amazing.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So did it affect you when you found out, or was it more of just, okay, I know what this is?
Well, the last test, the amount that I go on tangents and stuff is
totally fine.
too. No, but I'm saying it is an autistic trait.
I see.
it's hard to follow a linear conversation.
So
I'll
now
just
I'm
jump
doing
around.
it to you here because now I want to know: was school a problem for you? Was the systematic 8 to 3?
Oh, yeah.
These classes had to be a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, and
but were you still a good student? Did you still get good grades?
I did okay. I was always mediocre. But it was like I was hyper focused on the things I loved. So I didn't understand math at all. I know.
Same.
I wish I was the profitable autistic.
The business savvy.
I wish I was the Zuckerberg, not the guy who quotes Zoidberg from Futurama. That's the kind I am.
The kind.
And but yeah, so the third test. I just want to finish.
Yes,
yeah,
please.
So it's like pattern recognition stuff. It's they repeat numbers to you and you repeat them back. I got to the end of that. I think I did like 16 digits.
So they'll keep going like 21 and 2 1 4 5 and you got up to 16.
Yeah.
Jesus.
21 2 1 4
I don't
5.
think I'm sitting here in my head like, I don't think I could get that.
Yeah, so they're doing that, but my memory has always been insane.
Are you like that with names too? Can you remember people's names? See, that's my problem in comedy. I often don't remember your name, but I will remember your joke or something. I'm like, you got the such and such bit. Yeah.
And
which is also offensive.
Here's what's worse is that they know I know all this useless shit.
Yeah, like this guy can tell me who made these action figures. Yeah. Can't remember my name's John.
Yeah. He remembers how many seasons Shirley Hemphill was on.
What's happening and what's happening now.
And
how many was it, by the way?
I could be wrong, actually, but I'm going to say 5. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, and I picked a bad thing. But
Rob's place, man. She worked down at Rob's place.
Yeah. How did they not have what was happening then as a prequel?
That's good. That should be now.
She was a stand-up, though. She was,
she was amazing.
So
was Fred Berry. Rerun was as well.
But he was also a breakdancer.
Yeah. But he would do, like, I would see him back in the day at the bowling alleys out here in Canoga, and he would have pictures on the wall.
No, that was just one of the balls. That wasn't Fred Berry. It was just someone put a beret on a bowling ball.
We just talked about it on the way back about watching what's happening growing up.
Oh, man. But if you see him dance, it's like mesmerizing. Watching a guy that big do the moves that he did.
Yeah, he was good. Yeah, he popped and locked all over the place. He was.
Yeah, I love those old shows. Yeah, so it was like pattern recognition and all this stuff. And then I got the result like a few weeks later. And there's definitely an overdiagnosis problem. Part of the problem, though, is
there's a self-diagnosis problem as well going on.
I was going to say part of the reason that happens is that test costs money, and my insurance didn't cover it. It's funny. I have Writers Guild insurance.
Can I ask you how much?
$3,000. Yeah.
$3,000.
Yeah.
Woo-wee! That is. I just took a cancer one, a pre-screening to find, just a heads up, and it was $900 because insurance wasn't covered. I'm like, why wouldn't insurance cover this for everybody?
Yeah, and
but $3,000, man.
The Writers Guild won't cover it. I'm like, if we had to cover it, we'd have to spend it.
Maybe broke, bro.
Well, I would say on stage sometimes, like, I'm not saying I'm the only one. I'm the only one diagnosed. But yeah, I mean, it sucks because so much of poverty is connected to mental health and people not being able to understand their own problems, and there's no way that we're even helping people fix it. It's a bummer. So it is like when I'm talking about my autism test, it's my version of a sports car.
3,000.
But yeah.
Now, what does that do for you after when you find out? Is it a peace of mind? Yeah. Are you a bit bummed out? Or how are you feeling about
It's good
that?
and it's bad. I mean, it's good in that, like...
Yeah, tell me the positive.
I was able to, like, communicate with my wife more. And she always knew. She was like, yeah, duh. She's like, let's go use that $3,000 to go to Palm Springs.
Yeah, let's take a vacation. Trust me when I tell you.
Yeah, I mean, I need one just from living with you. Thanks, honey. Oh man, yeah, she's amazing. But I was able to communicate more because I get overwhelmed and I do have panic attacks. And so now, if I have like sensory if I'm feeling overloaded with noises, I'm one of those people. Even if the music's really low at a bar, I can hear it during a conversation, and I'll start talking about the song, but nobody else could hear the song, and stuff like that. But now, when I have panic attacks or I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'll say I've created a communication system. I'm like, I'm at a 2 out of 5, so I'm okay. But if I'm like, look, I can't handle this thing, it's making me too uncomfortable, I'm at like a 5, I'm at a 4, I have to leave. Because that's the thing. If you do get the diagnosis, it's your responsibility now to be a better person. And if you know who you are, you have to. That's the hard part of it. But
would you not leave prior to that? Would you just stay? And
I would stay or not even go. So now I make more of an effort and stuff. And I've been able to like create a system in my head that makes sense, which is that unnecessary things bother me. Necessary things do not bother me. Things that have to be happening are okay because they have to be happening. And this makes parenting so easy. Babies will cry. They will shit themselves. They will do baby things. So none of the things that a lot of people complain about with babies, I'm like, no, but that's who they are and what they do. It doesn't bother me. It's people who know better and do things they don't need to be doing or shouldn't be doing that drive me crazy. People that blast loud music at a beach or something, that bothers me because
that bothers everybody. That doesn't mean you have autism either, by the way. That assholes just bother everybody, But
enough people play that it seems socially acceptable.
Yeah.
And but certain things, things that will bother somebody else like drive me insane. The click of a pen.
How about somebody chewing? Loudly.
Complaining about the temperature in a room.
Drives you nuts.
Drives me insane.
Who's doing that?
Every writer's room.
Oh, someone will always be bitching about the temperature, huh?
Yeah, and if someone does it this way, like you said, like the smallest talk, like why are we spending 10 minutes on talking about lunch? Let's just put our orders in and work. I would rather like get stuff done, go home earlier than be in the culture of an office if I can help it.
Mm-hmm. Have you always been that way?
Yeah, but I didn't know why.
Okay. Did you ever homeschool or did you always just go to regular school?
Always went to regular school.
Yeah.
I mean, my parents, couldn't do or afford otherwise, and I don't blame them for that. But my high school was massive. I had a graduating class of 860.
Damn, yeah, you have Florida high schools are big.
Yeah. And we don't learn anything. And the only way they lower the class sizes is by pushing the guns. My school could have used a few of those. But I'll always remember this moment when I was in drama class. I wrote a monologue. We all had to do a monologue for the class, and I got in trouble for writing my own.
What do you mean?
That
you wrote your story?
I wrote my own speech to give. People are doing Shakespeare.
Oh, I see. And you just did your own.
Yeah.
Why would you get in trouble for that?
Because you're not supposed to. You're supposed to follow the curriculum and do this thing and that thing. And it's just I'll always remember that, like, and getting scolded for it. And now I get paid to be a writer.
How about that?
But that's the problem with those large schools. They don't have the time or resources to focus on what a kid is good at, what makes them happy, so that everything has to be uniform. Mm-hmm. It sucks.
So tell me, because I'm leading up to meeting your wife and stuff, was dating, did you date? Did you go?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it like for you? Especially someone who's uncomfortable with this. How are you meeting girls? This is before internet, I'm assuming, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was in a 4-year relationship and I didn't realize how insufferable I was in it till it ended. But I was just, that is a thing that people will say about autism, and I know it's not just true to autism, but the one-track mind, getting hyper focused on something. And this girl became my focus, and I would write letters to her and mail them, even though we lived 15 minutes apart.
You're sending snail mail letters and you live 15 minutes apart. You loved her, huh?
Oh, I did. But, and then I look back and I was like, what it really was I loved the concept of being in love.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't ready to love another person. And that took years. And when I moved to New York, I treated dating like I treated comedy, which was just do it as much as possible. Open mic, date, open mic, bring the date to the open mic. And, my first date with my wife was.
Yeah, how'd you meet?
Okay, Cupid.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah. And last week a week ago, that's it. A week ago was our 15-year first date anniversary.
Damn, congrats, guys. I met your wife. She's super sweet. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean,
and how long have you been married?
We've been married for 10 years.
10 years.
It'll be 11 this September.
And so when do you guys start to think about kids?
We always had. And then, there were like fertility issues and, it's very generous because she was having like fibroids, but then I had low sperm count and it's so much sweeter when you're both broken, and it's funny. I have Crohn's too. And my wife would always be like, you've got a bum tum and bum cum. It's beautiful.
Dude,
yeah,
that's fantastic.
Yeah, and so we were always thinking about it, and then the pandemic happens. We just called an adoption agency. We didn't want to go through IVF and all of that for us. It was just like, it may work, it may not. Let's just go through a process that we feel is comfortable for us. And look, man, the adoption process is brutal.
I'm sure.
We went through 2 matches where they decided to keep the kid. That's
when you think you're going to get the child, then they say never mind.
Yeah, they give birth and
I see. The person was like, no, now I want it.
Yeah. It was amazing.
I'm sure that happens a lot where they see their child and they're like, I can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many different, and a lot of, most of the people that put their kids up for adoption are in a crisis situation. And there was one woman who had 4 and she was like, let's round up. If I could do 4, I could do 5. And you're like, and I don't, at the time, it was rough. I remember being at the Comedy Store and telling I just felt so like alone and angry in that moment, just because I was like, I shouldn't be here now. I should be at home with my hypothetical child.
Yeah.
And I remember a comedian who just telling me, maybe you weren't meant to have kids. Just give up. And,
Jesus.
And I was like,
you remember who that was?
I'm not going to say.
But I'm saying you remember, though.
All I'll say is they had to live with being them, and that's punishment enough.
Fair enough.
It was brutal at the time to hear just anyone say, because I just felt like the universe was already telling me that. Mm-hmm. But we stuck it through, and it was a beautiful story. It was a baby that was born in Florida. And I was thinking to myself, the main goal of a parent is, one of the most important things is to make sure they have a better life than you. And at 2 weeks into my son being alive, he's already out of Florida.
That's what I say to my daughter all the time. I already won, girl.
Yeah, I did it.
I'm here. You know what I mean?
You're not having my childhood. So I did it. And it was, he's just like the most amazing little dude. He's funny. Like, he'll do this thing where I have shirts with a bunch of superheroes on them. And the Thing from the Fantastic Four is my favorite superhero. And anytime I'll point to the shirt and go, look, it's the Thing. He goes, it's Hulk. It's Hulk. I'm like, no, it's the Thing. He's like, Hulk. And he's trolling me.
Yeah, for sure.
It's beautiful. But yeah, I mean, when we got him and we took him home, it was like the most amazing thing. And it's so interesting because I had this imposter syndrome for a while of like, am I a good dad? Am I not? And I also don't look like him. He's, half white, half black. And it's amazing because my wife is white. And whenever we go out in public together, people often think that I don't know.
Like somebody's got to tell this poor bastard. Somebody's got to tell this poor bastard. Or that you're babysitting or some shit.
And it's so funny, like, and when I'm with him alone, I mean, I don't drive, so I'll have to Uber with him and put the car seat in the back. And sometimes people be like, so whose kid is it really? And stuff like that. Like that was really rough, like the first year and a half, but now he can say daddy and he treats me like a father. And so it's a lot more like the other day I got, is that your first grandson? I'm like, yeah. I was like, call me old.
Yeah.
Because I mean, people can be mean about stuff like that.
Everything.
And I don't, I remember there was a woman at the playground that screamed like, that's not your kid. And, blah, blah, blah.
Really?
Oh,
like you were like trying to steal him or something?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you do in that situation? There is no way to prove that kid's your kid if they're small enough where they're not saying
no.
Dad,
He was like 14 months. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I mean, how I proved he was my kid to myself? I left because that's what a good parent would do.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And he comes with me. Yeah.
Yeah. And I pulled our pants down and like, look, we have the same dick size. That's how you know. Twins. No.
Nice.
Why would I pull down the pants of a child that is not mine?
Not mine.
How absurd, ma'am or madam. No, and people bring their own, baggage into things, and but now I feel like self-assured of like, no, I'm Logan's dad. That's my kid, and I love him, and and he's not gonna be in Florida. They told us, and it might change, but they're like, he has not tested, for autism. I don't know if they tested positive, but yeah, they're like, we don't think he's autistic. And I mean, so yeah, it's like, that's why, he doesn't have my genes. He doesn't have my quirks. He is going to be an amazing athlete. I got like one more year. I can catch him.
Yeah. He's fast as shit.
He's
already.
So fast, and he loves sports. Yeah, and but he loves nerd stuff too. But yeah, as you said, anyone can take sports and make it nerd stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, listen, the quote unquote nerds, they're the people that came up with all the. Now you can stat everything.
Yeah,
you can on Google stats and all this stuff, and it's. How many base hits against lefties, right? I mean, it's every stat broken down to the, minute detail. It's pretty amazing.
They found a way to make it unfun for everyone but them. And that's what a real fan does.
That's what a real fan does.
A real fan finds a way to suck all the joy and put it just for themselves.
Right here, you bastards.
This is what adults did with Halloween.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
And Christmas. Oh, kids are having fun. Mine.
Dude, thank you for coming on and doing this episode.
Absolutely, man.
Before we wrap up, I want to know advice you would give to 16-year-old Mike Lawrence.
Work at Burger King. They pay 10 cents more.
10 cents back then.
No, I think I would say, you're going to have good days and you're going to have bad days, and you don't know who you are, but the people that love you know who you are, and they accept you for who you are, and that's what matters. And also make sure that in the early 2020s, just bet on the Kansas City Chiefs. I know you don't know anything about football, but just put aside some money and bet on, because your action figures are worthless. But sports can save your life.
Great episode, dude.
Thanks, buddy.
Promote right there one more time, please.
Yeah, Nerd of Mouth on the Last Podcast Network is my podcast. Yeah, we did a whole episode on autism. I talked about stuff that we didn't talk about here, portrayals of autism in the media, all that kind of stuff. And it was amazing. People reached out to me about their kids, about themselves. A guy was like, I understand my daughter more because of your episode. And
Good.
Like, yeah. Yeah, now you know she hates you. And I did that. No. But yeah, it's a really fun podcast. We get really deep into stuff, and I'm really proud of it. I don't do as much stand-up as I used to, but this is a really fun creative outlet for me. And yeah, I'm always writing on different stuff. And you know, my favorite thing is when people tell me they're not funny, but their favorite comedian is someone I write for. That is the best, like, own in a way.
Yeah. Thank you, buddy. Thanks a lot. As always, Ryan Sickler on all your social media, ryansickler.com. We'll talk to y'all next week.